legend and 14-time All-Star joins us today to talk about his career and the start of the basketball season and a cause close to his heart, A-Fib, a condition that puts him at risk for a stroke. He's joined by Dr. James Rayfell. He's the cardiac specialist. It's great having both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us.
But before we get into A-Fib, we have to talk basketball for a second. Jerry, let's talk about your thoughts on the Golden State Warriors, past two NBA finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know you're part of the executive board. Things are looking pretty rosy right now for the organization, aren't they?
Well, we've obviously had two great years. Last year, even though we had a disappointing ending in the finals, we thought we were in pretty good shape. But to Cleveland's credit, they came back and won the championship. But record-breaking year, 73 wins, which is really hard to believe when you think about the dedication, the teamwork, tenacity of the team to do that. And then this summer we added, fortunate enough to be able to add a free agent by the name of Kevin Durant.
Never heard of him.
Really, truly is one of the great basketball players that you'll ever see. And we're excited to see them with our younger players. We have a very young core of players. We think we had a great draft this year. So this team is well positioned going forward. If we can keep all of our players, obviously free agency is a danger, and we're hopeful we can convince our players to stay there.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the success thus far, and best of luck going forward. Let's talk about AFib, because I think we all hear it, in TV commercials and stuff like that. I don't think there's a lot of understanding about what AFib is. You've been living with it for over 20 years now. What is AFib, and what's it like living with it?
Well, I think the most important thing is obviously to be diagnosed with it. I felt just so out of sort. And I think being an athlete, you know something wrong when you feel like you're just racing. You go to bed at night, you wake up and you're dead tired, and that's not something I was accustomed to. So the doctors looked at me and they indicated to me that I had AFib, and I said, what in the world is that? And he said, it's a heart disease. And I said, a heart disease? Well, I said, I always feel so good now. And I said, I didn't get tired until now, and I'm an A-type personality, and the pressure that you put on yourself, the effort it takes into to maintaining a basketball team as an executive, these certainly contributed to my symptoms. But the thing that he said to me, we're going to have to start medicating you. And of course, blood thinner was a start with. It was warfarin, a drug that's been around for a long time, and I took it for a long time. Had to go to the doctor, monitor myself all the time. And there's some issues with it that bothered me, frankly, because I travel so much and I wasn't able to always eat the right thing, certain kind of vegetables. And again, I like my doctor, but I didn't want to have to go back in and have my blood tested. I used to go in every 6 weeks or every 3 months, and sometimes it wasn't convenient for me to do that. So, being the inquisitive person I am, I started to try to find out more information about these new age drugs. And I talked to my doctor, and we changed. I started taking Xarelto. I partnered with a Janssen, and I'm here to deliver a message about I think the advantage of me of taking Xarelto as compared to warfarin. And if people want to find out a little bit more about my story, they can go to myafibchoice.com, and that's myafibchoice.com. That it tells you about my story, but the doctor has a lot better and professional opinion than I do. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Doctor, let's talk about this. We have about 30 seconds. How a stroke can best be prevented when we know we have and we're at risk for AFib?
Well, if we have atrial fibrillation, the best way to prevent the stroke, which is the most serious consequence of atrial fibrillation, is with the use of anticoagulants, blood thinners. For 60 years we used warfarin, and as Jerry said, it's difficult to use. The dose varies constantly. Dietary changes change the drug. Other medication interactions with it, it's a nuisance. Now we've got 4 new blood thinners in the last 5 or 6 years, and the one that he's on is Xarelto. It works very effectively, and it makes a big change in the life of patients in a favorable way. So the best way to prevent the stroke is the use and reliable use of an anticoagulant that you as the patient are willing to take, and this is one of them.
Absolutely. Well, it's great information. I think we all know a little bit more about AFib now, and if we have any questions, we can obviously ask our doctor. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and continued success with the Warriors.
Well, thank you so much. Nice to visit with you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting with you. And now to learn more about how the treatment and prevention of AFib can affect your life, visit myafibchoice.com. You can also watch the segment on our website once again at vegasmorningblend.com.